What's up guys, Afrodan here, and today we have another Team Fortress 2 man versus machine tips with the heavy. The loadout is the default minigun, the sandwich, and the gloves of running urgently. The upgrade order that I used, which I think is the best, is deflect projectiles, then ammo and firing speed alternatively. It doesn't really matter which you do, but make sure they're up to full. Buy Uber canteens as well when you've got spare cash. Movement speed as much as you can, because the heavy, as you know, is terrible for movement speed, and resistance is just to buff your heavy so you can take more damage, so you don't need to use as many crit canteens. First things first, when the tank comes out, what you want to do is obviously concentrate fire on it as much as possible, but make sure you keep an eye out around the tank, because straggling enemies can be the ones that actually cause you the most problems. Okay, so right here, what I'm doing is concentrating on the big guys, because they're the only ones here, but making sure none of them get past me, because that is a big problem. As the heavy, what you do is you thin the crowd out. That's your main job. Putting massive damage on certain dudes and thinning the crowd out. Now you see here, this guy gets past, but I don't just leave him, because there's no way the spy is going to get him. And as you see here as my next point, the minigun actually has a lot more range than you might think. It can do damage to people very far away and hit them a lot more times than you would assume. So that was something I found out. When fighting giants with medics, always concentrate on the medics. Try to avoid shooting the giants if they do have medics, because you will cause them to Uber, and if that happens, you're pretty much just standing there waiting to be killed. You see here, I aim for the medics before I start shooting the heavy. And then straight onto the tank, trying to stay near the dispenser, because as you know, staying near a dispenser as a heavy will mean you have infinite ammo. While shooting at this tank here, I'm looking at the scouts coming down, and as soon as they start coming down, I immediately start shooting at them to keep damage on them. Also make sure you're aware of what's coming, so you know when you should be using your Uber charges and or crits if you have them. Also, another good idea, if you don't have an NG, or the NG is keeping his dispenser to himself, is to actually use ammo upgrades or ammo canteens. That's very useful upgrade as well. Make sure keep you fully loaded while still being able to survive if you've got a decent medic. As a heavy, I'm not too worried about money. Pretty much everybody else is more suited to going collecting cash than I am, so there's no point in me running around like an idiot, because I'm the slowest character there is. When fighting deflector rapid soldiers, make sure you shoot them in the chest / legs area, as you'll be able to deflect most of the rockets, because they tend to shoot at your feet, which means, as I'm sure you'll see here, I deflect most of the rockets flying at him. You see him flying up in the air, so make sure you aim kind of at the chest area, because if you aim at the gun itself, sometimes you won't actually get them. There we go, popped an Uber just to keep myself alive. There's no sense dying there to save an Uber canteen, especially since it's the last wave anyway. When fighting, you should always look to kill the straggling enemies instead of the big main thing, as that's when you lose accidentally, when the little scouts or something run past you and cap the point, which is not what you're looking for. So make sure to keep an eye out for scouts going past you, especially when the bomb is as close to the point as it is. All it would take is one scout, and 5 seconds of us not paying attention, we lose the round. Here again, making sure to get all the scouts before bothering with the big guy. The big guy walks slow, and because I have so much resistances, he's not gonna do much damage to me at all, so he's okay to be left for a while. Now, the gloves of running urgently are probably one of my most favourite things for the heavy. The ability to run faster is so helpful in when you're playing with the heavy. See here, collecting ammo and all that stuff really quick. The one thing you've got to watch out for is, I think it's 3 seconds mini crits you receive after you use the gloves, so you have to make sure that you don't use them then run straight into a crowd, because that's not going to end well for anyone. Now it's the last wave here, so I don't need to bother about anything else. Snipers aren't going to be able to do enough damage to me. I have full, the medic has full overheals on, so he can overheal me to 750 health, which is, I don't think I need to worry about anything really. So just concentrating on the heavy. There's no specific area to aim for on the tank with the heavy. Anywhere will do the same amount of damage, which is unfortunate, but hey ho. And that is the round over. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope it was useful to you. If you have any classes or anything like that for me to try out, or any loadouts for me to use, I'd gladly do that. Try and give you some tips on it, some techniques on it, or any other videos that you might want to see, like Minecraft or anything like that. Thanks very much for watching. Afrodan out.